Hello, this is Kyle from CompuLove, and today I'd like to do an overview of Medicat. And I'm sure most of you watching probably know what Medicat is, but if you don't, it's basically a USB tool that you can use that has a bunch of freeware software on it. And it's like a bootable USB stick that you can use to use to boot up stuff in. So like if something's wrong with your computer, like you can't boot into Windows, there's a bunch of tools that you can use to use with Medicat or whatever. But anyway, I'm just going to do an overview of this. So if you want to know how to install it or use it on your USB stick, I'll link a video of the tutorial that I use to actually get it onto my USB stick, because I'm too lazy to do a tutorial of this, because that means I'd have to do it again, because I kind of forget how to do it. I know it's pretty easy, but self-explanatory. But I'm just going to do an overview of this stuff. So Medicat, it's a USB stick. So on my computer, these are my other two drives. It'll probably pop up somewhere in your devices and drives. It's called Medicat, and you can see with the cat on it. Makes sense. And then once you click it, it'll have a bunch of folders, and it'll install all this shit automatically. So it just comes with a bunch of tools that are useful for recovering. You could do like boot repair. There's a bunch of antivirus backup recovery. It's mostly for software stuff. So it's like if your computer has a hardware problem, this probably won't work. But it's more of like a bunch of software troubleshooting tools. It's really useful. Things I've used it in is I use password removal tools. Not exactly this one, but if you go into you can actually boot up into the USB, and then it shows a little menu thing, and then you can boot up into a mini version of Windows 10, and then you can actually remove passwords from there. So some people have called me that they needed their passwords removed, and it's pretty cool, because some people get donor laptops or whatever, and they're like, I don't have the password of this computer. Some people just forget their passwords, but they want to extract the data. They don't want to totally format the drive in order to get in. So it basically removes the password of the user on Windows by using this thing. So it comes with a bunch of stuff here. There's boot repair, a bunch of boot stuff. I haven't used 95% of the tools on this thing. It's pretty extensive. And Hiron's boot, if you heard of that, is also kind of similar. It has a mini version of Windows 10 or whatever. So if there's something wrong with your hard drive, you can boot up into the USB stick instead of the actual hard drive, and possibly fix it. But if it's a dying hard drive, you might still be able to extract the data off of it instead of losing your data. But it's always good to back up. So always back up your stuff. See, there's a bunch of diagnostic tools, like Memtest 86 is a decent one. Memtest 86 Plus, which I guess is just an enhanced version. I've used it once, and it's good for RAM testing, stuff like that. And there's live operating systems. This is the mini version of Windows here. I've never done these things. I never used Active Data Studio or System Rescue. I only ever used the Windows mini Windows. And it looks pretty much just like Windows. It's just you get the desktop environment, but you can use all the tools that are within this USB stick. And it's pretty cool. I think you have to have a pretty hefty USB stick. The one that I'm using is 119 gigabytes or 118 gigabytes, because I know Windows likes to use a certain file system that makes it look smaller or whatever. But it's 128 gigabytes, so you want a pretty big one. So I'm not exactly sure the requirement, but it's pretty. You have to have a decently sized one, because I'm using almost half of this drive only having Medicat on it. I didn't install anything extra. It's just there's so many files, so many programs that come with it. So you can put your own OS images here. So this is where you put your ISOs and stuff. So I got an Ubuntu ISO, Windows 11, Windows 10, ISO downloader. I think this was here by default. There's some of these here by default, but these are the ISO files that I have. Linux Mint also. So there's that. Partition tools, just for partitioning your hard drive, stuff like that. This is the password removal that I don't use. I think I used it. I don't know exactly, because I know I went into Windows 10 to do it, so it might have been this. But and then programs, a bunch of more stuff. See how there's just so many things, so much stuff. Like, it would take me, like, I could go on for hours, like, going through each one. But, like, to be honest, I don't know exactly what all of them do, but you can sort of tell what they do. This is probably something to do with your hard drive. Disk drill. Disk defrag is probably for defragging your hard drive. You don't even need to use it, like, as a boot up thing. You can just use it, like, they're all portable apps, so you can just plug it into any computer and use it. So there's, like, blue screen view, which is also useful if you get a blue screen of death, and it shows you, like, all the times that you've ever had a blue screen. So in my case, I've had 2 blue screens, not really lately. Apparently I had a blue screen on February 2nd, 2025. And on, what did it say? And it tells you the bug string. So you know how sometimes you get a blue screen and it goes away really fast. The unexpected kernel boot trap. Can't remember what that means, but you can just Google it. The page fault in non-paged area, I think has to do with RAM. Like the system tried to access some parts of the RAM that it couldn't. So that's what that probably means. And it usually tells you, whoa, caused by what driver? This driver, apparently. This NTO, I think it means like something kernel.exe. I'd have to like look it up, to be honest, but something like that. So it's pretty useful if you get like a bunch of blue screens. And you can view this in the mini version of Windows 10. So, you know, to rely on like coming into the Windows environment because it keeps blue screening or whatever. Blue screen view, pretty good. Bootis, I don't know what that does, but there's a bunch here. Like, as you can see, just a bunch of stuff. It's pretty crazy. It found threats. Oh no. So let me just see what that is. Huh. I think it's because one time I tried to, Oh, it's probably because like I tried to open stuff here. Another thing about Medicat, it might trigger Windows Defender because of what it can do. So, don't be alarmed if it like triggers saying threats found. It's more likely fine. It's just because of what it can do. It's just like, it's super powerful. So like, the Windows Defender thinks it's like, it's bad because it doesn't like recognize it or whatever. So it's really, it's not a virus or anything. So, it's just a really powerful tool that Windows Defender gets triggered by. But yeah, it can trigger it sometimes, as it did right there as an example. System startup. I think this is just, you know, antivirus PNG, some picture thing. Oh, nice picture. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff here. I'm not really doing much of a tutorial. It's just like an overview of like all the programs and stuff that comes with it. So if you're into like sort of PC repair stuff like I am, then this is a really useful tool for like blue screens, like software related problems. It's really handy, like especially if you're trying to like access data that you can't because you can't get into Windows or whatever. So you're like, how do I get my files back? Well, then you can go into the mini version of Windows 10 and you can copy them over to an external USB stick or whatever, USB drive, and get it back. And there's been times where in the past, I wish I had it. I wish I used this before, but I didn't have it at the time. But now that I do have it, it's really been useful. I use it a lot. So yeah, that's basically it. Medicat, pretty cool. Go to their website, download that, and it's pretty easy. You just have to go through like a bunch of command prompt stuff, and then it would probably take like a few minutes to like download all the files and all the programs. So just gotta be patient. All right. This is Kyle from CompuLove signing off.